Hi everybody. Kila mtu ako sambamba, mko salama. Man, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, you guys. But guess what, man? I'm here. I'm here, and I've been having this reflection that I thought, why not share about this reflection? It's been something bugging me, the way something can just. So it's been disturbing me, and I thought, why not? Why not? Let's have that discussion. So, I think I posted it a few days in TikTok. So I'm just a few days ago about a very amazing thing that I saw in a movie where the devil, the devil himself, he brought up something that disturbed my head. He said, vanity, my favorite sin. Now, this was from the movie. This was from the movie. The name was, what is the name of this movie? Mtanikumbusha hapo chini. I've forgotten it. But there's this movie. It's a good movie. And it depicted a lawyer. And actually, it's called The Devil's Advocate. I've remembered. So it's a movie about law. And it's a movie about this young, very ambitious lawyer who's willing to do anything for the sake of that kind of, what can I call it? That fame, being called the guy who has never lost a case. So in that movie, this guy, apparently, he does something that he 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 has a character of winning every case. And one of the major things that he does not know, is that the devil actually is his biological father. What do I mean by that? So it's a story that the mother went to one day to New York for a church trip. The mother is a very church person. So the mother once goes to New York for a church trip, and then when the mother is at New York, it so happens that she hooks up with somebody, and that person is very biblical as well. So what happens is she gets pregnant, and now she gives birth to this lawyer, not knowing that the person she slept with was the devil. So she gives birth. She brings forth a son. And this movie was acted, I think, probably 2004, 2005. And the very fascinating thing is that they are talking about things that are very current. At the end of the movie, we have names like Antichrist, when the devil has two biological children, a male and a daughter, and he wants both of them to give birth to one who he wanted to call the Antichrist. It's very funny, but one of those statements that he said, I think twice or thrice, he said, vanity, my favorite sin. So I've been really pondering on this statement, vanity, my favorite sin. And I started wondering, how can I know sin. I used to know sin as very many other things, but I never thought as vanity as sin. And I looked at that statement, and it was like, vanity, my favorite sin. Maybe you think about it. When somebody comes and tells you vanity, my favorite sin, I sat down and I really thought about it. It really troubled me in some sort of way. So I went on and went on, and I wanted to know, what did he mean by saying vanity, my favorite sin? So I was there, and I started thinking. I began thinking a lot, and honestly, why do we live? It was the first amongst the very many questions that came to my head. What is the essence of life? I don't know if you get. Like, why do you live? Because the truth is, we have a cycle in life, and let me explain the life cycle of every human being. Is today morning I wake up, I go for work. This is a normal human being who's working mwenye ako kazi. So waking up, go to work. After work, I come back home, and after work I come back home. I buy food. I sleep. Then I redo. Then Sunday I go to church, and I'm back. And I looked at this structure, and the aim of all of this thing is very simple. It's getting money, paying rent, living well, doing all of those things. And I'm looking at this, and I'm very fascinated, because that is the essence as to why very many Christians live. It's for that money. If it's something extra you're going to do, is get yourself a cloth, get yourself a nice pair of shoe, or take yourself and the girls to some spa date. If it's men, ni kwenda kuchoma kanyama shoma mahari. But at the end of the day, I ask myself, what is the essence of me working every day? Why am I chasing after the things of the world excessively? And that's the first question I ask myself. And the second question is, how can I limit myself in this form that I am in, to being able to just living my life without really focusing on, what? I'm really looking for vanity. Because at the end of the day, I focused on my grandfather. When I was looking at this, the picture of my grandfather came along, and I looked at him and I was like, okay, so my grandpa lived his life, and he bought land, and recently amegawa shamba to the sons, and I realized that, and then every day he has this talk about, nikienda. It became a very everyday conversation. Nikienda. So every day when you meet him at his age, he's telling you about the possibility of him not being there tomorrow, of which it's true. There is a very high possibility considering his age. You can find that kesho yenyewe mzee hayuko, but I'm looking and I'm thinking and then I'm pondering, and the truth is there is something about a young man chasing things, and then at the end of the day those things not really making meaning. So the question that I bear and I really do ask myself is, what is there that I can do for myself that is not basically chasing the wind? What is this thing that for me, like a young man, I can do for myself? And honestly and truthfully, it's not chasing the wind, but the truth of the matter is that I'm doing something for good. So I don't know if you're getting, like, I'm not chasing the wind. How can you live that kind of life? And I started realizing that there are very many ways of which you can live that life. Recently, I was taught about the Kenyan dream. Let me share with you. Now, you know the way there is an American dream. Apparently, there is a Kenyan dream. And what's the Kenyan dream? A 5 acre piece of land, imejengwa a good nyumba, one wife and 2 kids, and a 4-wheel drive, man. Now that's the Kenyan dream. And many people are working towards being able to achieve this Kenyan dream. But the question for me is, like, how do I walk out of this and just, like, begin a new endeavor somehow, and not focus my life on that? And the scripture does not make it really better, because from the Bible, all the way from the book of Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of the Lord and his righteousness, and everything else shall be added unto you. And the other scripture about not worrying about tomorrow, and everything is just about, but we as believers, we are really focused on worrying about how tomorrow is going to be. So my question for me is, I as James, should I live my life in such a way that I yes, I can have land, yes, I can have a house, yes, I can have a car, but not really focused on tomorrow. I live today. Because at the end of the day, I've been thinking, man, nobody knows the hour, and every day we are living, it's like Christ is coming even sooner. So I'm trying to think, we as Christians, are we really living the right way in some kind of way? Or are we living for vanity? It really has been a question that has been in me. I'm just trying to have a discussion here. Yeah? So, with myself and you, have we been living right, or have we been living for the sake of vanity? Like, why am I looking for money? And is money the essence of me working? What is the drive for me waking up every day? Is it money, or is it God? And when I'm working in that place, am I changing anything? Am I a show of God, or am I just another show of something different, of an indifferent man? Yes. Like, what is your drive? Is it money? Because honestly, I think many of us are being driven by money. Like, it's about money. It's about me, natafuta pesa, natafuta pesa, natafuta pesa, natafuta pesa, natafuta pesa. But is it worth it, though? Is it? Because should my drive be money, or should my drive be God? And if my drive is God, how can I live a life whereby my drive is just but God? And yet again, the devil says, vanity, my favorite sin. Ha. Anyway, it was just a thought. Have a good day.
Mbona pia uruwe?